Hey, Algebra 2 kids, this is Dr. Callahan with Algebra 2 Semester 2 for Week 9 Monday. How are you guys doing? Go ahead and pause the video to answer the following 3 questions. Keep in mind that your warm-up log is going to be due this Friday. It's 300 points, and so it's going to reflect everything that you've done for like the last 9 weeks of class. So make sure you guys pause the video and answer the following 3 questions. Okay, so this is week 9. Our topic is going to continue on reviewing rational functions. Keep in mind that on Monday, you guys will have your Math Excel assigned, and then also you'll have your quiz assigned as well. So then with that said, I'm going to go ahead and just open that for you guys. So that way we have that available. So if you're like, how do I get onto Math Excel? You just go to Washoe County School District, type in Math Excel. Go to Envision, sign in, and then from there, you're going to go to Algebra 2 Semester 2, Math Excel on the very bottom. And then we're going to go over to assignments. So you should be able to see everything there. So up to this part, you have week 8, week 7, everything here is assigned. I'm going to create your quiz for this week. And actually, before I do that, I want to make sure that we have all the assignment topic covered. So last week was on solving rational expressions, but we had adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, rational functions, etc. So then for this week's, I'm just going to go ahead and take a look at all the unassigned assignments here. I'm going to have you guys do a review. So let's just do graphing rational functions instead, because we have not actually done that one yet. So I'll just go ahead and type in week 10, or excuse me, 9, homework. And then Algebra 2, Semester 2. DrNataliaCallahan. And then next, there are 10 questions right over here. So this week it's just 10. It is going to be due on the 6th of March, and you guys have until 11 p.m. to complete it. You will have 4 attempts and then assigned. All right, so you should be all set and ready to go with week 9's homework assignment. I'm actually going to change this to, let's see if that will move it down a little bit. It keeps on getting messed up. Oh goodness, now it's all the way up here. So I wonder if it will just allow me. No, it won't let me do that. That's okay. Week 9 is up here. It's not a big deal, I guess. It's fine. All right. So then with that said, let's continue with today's stuff. So for your YouTube channel, you guys are watching this right now, so hopefully you already found that. But you guys should have week 9. We are going to be reviewing. It says quiz, but we're not going to do the quiz today. We're going to be reviewing. Last class, we actually started working on your guided notes, filling out most of the stuff right there. This was the first page that we started on, and we filled out a lot of these boxes. And this was the last question that we ended up on Thursday, or Friday, excuse me, week 8 Friday. So then today, it's our review of rational functions, day 2. And we're going to do the review guide for all of your notes and concepts, starting with simplifying rational functions. Then we're going to go to multiply, dividing, which we talked a lot about last class, which was on Friday. And then today, we're going to go on to adding, subtracting, and then solving. I do have a quizzes for you guys to work at the very end. And the only material you guys need is your guided notes for today, which is the white packet. All right, so with that said, let's go ahead and get started on this page right here. Okay, so if you take a look at this, what it's asking to do is you're doing a division. Okay, but if you look at it, it looks very, very ugly. So I'm going to try to factor out the numerator. I know the denominator, I could take out a, let's see, an x. If I take out the x, I will have an x remaining minus 4. That's what I have on the inside. Now for the numerator, I have a 4x squared, so I'm going to do a 2x and a 2x. It could also be a 4x and an x, I don't know yet. And then I have the last number is 25, so let's see if I do 5 and 5, negative and a negative, if that will work. Remember your outer and inner. For your outer, it's going to be 2x times negative 5, which is a negative 10x. Inner is negative 5 times 2x, which is a negative 10x. If I add these two together, does it give me the middle number? Yes, it does. So I know that this works perfectly. So then the denominator, I can see the only thing to take out is the bottom denominator, which is going to be a 3, and I have an x minus 4. Now that I factored everything, I'm going to rewrite it. Okay, my first fraction is 2x minus 5, 2x minus 5. Denominator is x times x minus 4. You're going to change your division to a multiplication, but then what ends up happening is you have to flip that. So you get 3x minus 4 on top, and then 2x minus 5 on the bottom. Then comes the fun part where you get to highlight common numbers top and bottom, so you can cancel them. And so as I look at the yellow and green highlights, I can cancel this part, x minus 4, and I'm just left with 2x minus 5 on top over x in the denominator. And that is my answer for this one here. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the next one, which is this one right here. So it's asking you to go ahead and graph that. And remember, your vertical asymptote is when you take the denominator and you set it equal to 0. So then your vertical asymptote is going to be x cannot equal to 2 and x cannot equal to -1. Because at 2 and -1, your graph should not touch these two vertical asymptotes, as in, you know, they're not going to have a number for y when x equals 2 or -1. All right. In addition to that, look at your horizontal asymptote. X times x is x squared. Bottom is also x squared. Remember, if the power is exactly the same, you refer to the coefficient, which is a 1 over 1. So y equals 1. So technically, you should have a horizontal asymptote at y equals 1, which is right here. Your graph will look something similar to that. So when I graph this, remember, you're going to have to FOIL this. So if I FOIL the numerator, it's x squared plus 2x minus 8. If I FOIL the denominator, it's x squared minus x plus 1. And then let's go ahead and graph to see what it will look like. So here's my calculator. Y equals, and I'm just going to type in x squared plus 2x minus 8. And I want to make sure I put them in parentheses, whoops, because your calculator actually does not have artificial intelligence to actually understand how this works. So let's go ahead and do this way. There we go. Parentheses, and then divided by parentheses, you're going to type in x squared minus x plus 1. Close parentheses, and then graph. So take a look how it looks. Look how it's kind of like going in a weird little dive. But if you're not sure about that, we can also go up to zoom fit, which should fit this a little better. Do you see how the y1 right there? That's your horizontal asymptote. And look at this graph. It does not exceed the 1. Okay, so it goes down. It looks like all the way down to 10, and then goes up. So your graph will look something like this, where it's going down this way, and then it goes up this way. So that's your graph. All right, let's go on to the next one. Here we go. Find the product of that and that given the domain and restrictions. So the product keyword is product, which means multiply. So your first fraction, you have x plus 5 over this one. You can take out an x, which will give you an x squared minus 25. And then you should notice that x squared minus 25 is one of those special cases where you can factor out to x plus 5 and x minus 5. So it kind of splits into that. Product means you multiply, and the product of this, you're going to have to go ahead and put it into 2 parentheses. And before you do that, I see that it's an x cubed, so maybe I could take out an x. So I have 2x squared minus 11x plus 5. So there's an x outside. Now let's go ahead and factor out this part here with the 2x squared. I think I'm going to do a 2x and an x for the 2x squared. And then for the 5, I'm going to be very careful with this because I could do a 1 and 5 or a 5 and a 1. So I'm going to put the 5 here and a 1 here. Middle number is -11. So maybe I put a minus and a minus because guess what? Your outer have to give you a -10x. Inner is a -1x. And does it give me -11x once I combine them? Yes, it does. So that does work. You just put a 1 on the bottom. And now comes the fun part where you get to highlight and cancel. This is my favorite part of this. So you have an x plus 5 on top, x plus 5 on the bottom. You have a x minus 5 on the bottom, x minus 5 on top. And you also have a x right here and an x right there. So then let's just start canceling all of them. X cancels, x plus 5 cancels, x minus 5 cancels, and you have to be careful and go, well, what is left technically? Well, what's left is you have 1 on top times the 2x minus 1. So you technically have 2x minus 1. And on the bottom, you just have a 1. So your answer is just that right there. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the next one. The exit ticket here is what you have. So let's factor this part out. X, what times what gives me a -20, but when I add it together, it gives me a -1. I would say it's a 4 and a 5, positive and a negative because you have a -1 right there. So the 5 have to be the negative. On top, you have x and x. What times what gives me a 10? I'm going to say 5 and 2, but when they add it together, have to give me a -7. So put a minus and a minus. On the bottom, take your 3 out. You get an x squared minus 4. Notice that your x squared minus 4 is a special factorization. So you can actually split it to x plus 2, x minus 2. Now let's go ahead and highlight all the ones that I have that matches. X minus 2, top and bottom, they will cancel. X minus 5, top and bottom, they will cancel. And then I have a 3 and a 3. So let's cross them out, you guys. 3 cancels, x minus 5 cancels, x minus 2 cancels. And then what I'm left, oh, I forgot one more, which is actually x minus 2, x minus 2. So then that part cancels as well. So then on top, it's just a 1. On the bottom, you're just left with x plus 4. And that's it. That's your answer. Okay, so with that said, this leads into adding and subtracting rational expressions. I'm going to have you guys go ahead and read Teo and Shannon's work. Go ahead and answer the questions for 1, 2, and 3 to the best of your abilities because it's more subjective. So as long as you do it, you're good. So pause the video and do that. Okay, so next we're going to go and take a look over here. Okay. I'm actually going to stop right here for the notes and we'll continue this on Tuesday. So then what I'm going to have you guys do is you're going to go ahead and practice what a quiz is today. So this is what it looks like. It is a solo quizzes. It's 15 questions and I'm actually going to assign it to you guys as a homework assignment. So you guys have until Sunday of this week to complete it. And so it's 8 days from now. And I'm just going to hit assign. And then you guys should have, go to joinmyquiz.com on your iPad and insert the code 50504325. And then you technically can start this anytime you want. So for example, if I go to joinmyquiz.com, this is what you should see. I have Dr. Callahan, and then I'm just going to hit start, and then I have questions given to me. And so just do the work on your desk or on a separate piece of paper, and then once you get to the right answer, which I don't know if that's the incorrect answer, then go on to the next one. Okay. All right, you guys, that's basically it. So I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Take care.